Welcome back, my lovely beans. Baro Relay is here from 19th of July, 11 a.m. ET to 26th of July, 11 a.m. ET. You gain access via the TannerCon digital pack. I will leave a link down below to check it out if you still want to get one. You will be able to buy everything Baro had ever in stock, but where to start? We will separate the video in sections to make it easier to talk about the best mod. Keep in mind, this here is a suggestion. If you prefer to buy different mods, go for it. If you can buy more than I suggest, go for it. I just want to make it a bit easier for those who might be a bit overwhelmed by the sheer amount of items Baro brings. Also keep in mind, I'm only talking about mods that I think are like a must-have, same as items. Baro brings more, so if you want to go over the items that I suggest, absolutely go for it. We will talk about the categories Warframe, shotgun, melee mods, rifle mods, pistol mods, Archwing mods, Sentinel mods, and technically others or extras Baro brings. For Warframe mods, my biggest suggestion there definitely is Prime Continuity. Here you will gain 55% ability duration. This is one of your base mods that you will use in all of your Warframe builds that uses duration-based ability where you want to enhance your duration. We do have an Archon version of this mod called Archon Continuity, where we do get the 55% duration, but in addition to that, we do have a second part. Abilities that inflict a toxin status effect will also apply a corrosive status effect. This is nice in certain frames, for example, Citrine. So here's the thing, there's no negative effect of using Archon Continuity even if you don't benefit of the second part of the mod. Besides that, the capacity cost of the Archon mod version is slightly higher. The second mod that I'm suggesting is Prime Flow. Prime Flow is giving you 185% energy max, which is for heavy spam builds, a super nice setup, and helps you for energy hungry builds and frames, and if you shield gate to make sure you can spam your shield gate ability. Once again, there's an Archon version named Archon Flow. You gain the same amount of energy as Prime Flow, and the second part of the mod is enemies killed by cold abilities have a 10% chance to drop an energy orb with a 10-second cooldown. There are certain frames that actually kill with the abilities which apply cold and counts towards the mod. Still, Archon Flow has an extreme niche use. The third mod is a nice to have but not necessarily a must have. Prime Redirection. This one gives you 180% shield capacity, which is nice if you want to shield tank or you're going your shield gate direction with Aegis, but it's not something you definitely have to invest into. For shotguns, the mods that I would suggest are Prime Charge Shell, Prime Chilling Grasp, and Prime Ravage. Prime Charge Shell. Prime Charge Shell is for shotguns and gives you 165% electricity compared to normal Charge Shell, which only gives you 90%. Using elemental mods is a huge increase in your raw damage. The same counts for Prime Chilling Grasp. Prime Chilling Grasp gives you 165% cold damage instead of the regular 90%. Cold is not only nice, for example, for viral, blast, or magnetic, but it also slows down or like even freeze enemies, which will make it nicer to hit headshots. Prime Ravage is actually giving you a total of 110% crit chance instead of the 60% crit chance, which actually sometimes gives you like the sweet spot or like, you know, the thresholds to gain extra, like a lot of extra crit damage. So you will feel a significant damage increase. If you're wondering why I'm not suggesting Prime Point Blank, Prime Point Blank is nice to have, but it's not a must. There are a lot of other options to gain your base damage on shotguns. You have your Arcanes and Galvanized Savvy. And once again, this here is a suggestion, especially if you can't afford all mods from this Baro Relay. If you can afford more, go for it. For melee mods, we have Prime Fever Strike, Prime Pressure Point, and Prime Breach. Prime Fever Strike. Here you have 165% damage compared to 90% of normal Fever Strike. This is a raw damage increase once again. It is especially nice for melee setups where you're using, for example, melee exposure. For your melee setups, you do want to have base damage. Here, Prime Pressure Point is your go-to. You will gain 185% melee damage compared to the 120% from normal Pressure Point. Obviously, technically, we do have Condition Overload, but this will not work on every weapon and you do have to trigger it. Not every weapon is able to trigger it themselves, so you do sometimes have to trigger it from the outside, for example, with your companion or a primer. With Prime Reach, you will have a lot of quality in life and also increased in your DPS. Simply because your reach is increased means you can hit multiple targets at the same time, and if your damage is high enough, also kill them. With Prime Reach, you now have a range of 3 compared to a range of 1.5. For rifle mods, I'm suggesting Prime Cryo Rounds and Prime Firestorm. For Prime Cryo Rounds, we have 165% cold damage compared to the 90% of normal cryo rounds. Once again, cold is used for viral, blast, and magnetic, but it also slows the enemies, so once again, it is really nice to hit your headshots. Having elements on your weapon is a nice increase in your raw damage. For Prime Firestorm, that is not absolutely necessary, but if you like to use blast weapons, I would say it's a must-have. Firestorm itself improves the blast radius of weapon with radiant text. The difference for Prime Firestorm is that the blast radius is increased by 44% compared to 24% of normal Firestorm. It's especially nice if you do like certain weapon types. For pistols, we do have a bit of a bigger variety. Sometimes it's even hard to fit all mods onto your pistol's loadout. We have Prime Fulmination, Prime Heated Charge, Prime Pistol Gambit, Prime Target Cracker, and Prime Convulsion. For Prime Fulmination, not a must-have, but highly suggested. Normal one is from Circuit, so it's really annoying to farm, and it's the only way to drop it. Fulmination improves the blast radius of weapons with radiant tech. Fulmination, or Prime Fulmination, is giving you 44% blast radius compared to the 24% of the normal Fulmination. It's especially nice if you like AoE weapons. The best use case is Epitaph Prime. Prime Heated Charge. Once again, 165% heat compared to 90% of normal heated charge. It is a really nice damage increase, especially since the heat dot damage is multiplicative. Prime Pistol Gamble. We have 187% crit chance compared to 120. This will help you a lot of the times to hit the sweet spot of 100% crit chance on your pistol. This is the same for Prime Target Cracker. We now have 110% of critical damage compared to 60%. This will help you to significantly improve your damage. Prime Conversion. Here we do have 165 electricity compared to the 90% of normal conversion. Once again, raw damage, really nice. Electricity combines with heat to radiation, with cold to magnetic, and with toxic to corrosive. You will feel a good damage increase with this mod. Archwing mods are a little bit of a niche use case. I would suggest to get yourself primed dual rounds and primed lined barrel if you like to get into Profit Taker. With primed dual rounds, you will get 110% multi-shot compared to 60%, and with primed lined barrel, you will get 187 damage compared to 100%. For Sentinel mods, I highly suggest Primed Regen. The Sentinel recovery time is reduced by 35%, and the revived Sentinel is invulnerable for 10 seconds. Compared to normal Regen, the recovery time is only reduced by 20 seconds. The revived companion is still invulnerable for 10 seconds, but it definitely will help you to recover your Sentinel faster. Other items or mods I would pick up from Baro are Prisma Angstrom, Prisma Gorgon, and Prisma Skarner, simply because all of these three weapons do have a Conan adapter available. There are obviously more weapons available from Baro. If you want to pick them up, go for them. They just have a little bit more niche uses. For the 60/60 electricity, I know that a lot of people would tell you that Baro has exclusive 60/60 mods in electricity. That is technically not completely true. High Voltage and Shell Shock, so that is the rifle and the shotgun mod, are technically farmable from Hive Mission, the caches. If you don't want to do that, definitely buy them. The only Baro exclusive mods are Jolt for the pistol and Voltic Strike for the melee. Besides that, there are a few Baro exclusive mods, for example, Combo Fury, Mark of the Beast, Combo Killer, Peculiar Audience, and Split Fights. If you want to get them, go get them. Or there are also some more rare mods because they are dropping from Eidolons. If you don't want to farm them, grab them from Baro. I hope all of this helped a little bit. Good luck, good shopping, and tell me what you got in the comment. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on Twitch.